As I am writing this, more than one-third matches have been played in the Premier League and Chelsea are sitting very uncomfortably at 12th place in the point table with only 19 points, 18 points away from top of the table and 14 points away from the 4th place. There are some impressive matches against the top teams of the league, but the problem is those matches barely brought any point in the table. We are so impressed by them in those matches because of the mess they have been since last season.
It's been a tough year.
So we basically didn't expect them to go neck to neck with Liverpool, Arsenal and Manchester City. The problem is, even being the better team in those all 3 matches, they brought only a whopping 3 points from that 3 games. And in their bad games, they barely brought any. So this is kind of the scenario of where Chelsea at right now. In this video, we'll find out why that's possibly happening and how they can change their fate for the next 20 plus games, or especially the half after January transfer window to at least shoot for the Europa League.
Or at least try.
First of all, I think Chelsea right now doesn't know exactly why they are losing matches, and they don't know why they are winning matches either. They have a pretty big identity problem, and as cliche as this sounds, sadly this is true. You see them beating Arsenal in almost every front one game, and the next game they have no clue how to win against Brentford. You see them playing amazing football against Man City, and then being so undisciplined against Newcastle.
What the hell is going on?
Again, the better team against Brighton, showing some characters playing with 10 man the whole second half, and then one of the absolute garbage matches that I have seen them playing against Manchester United. Now, if you go look at what they are doing right in those matches where they are playing really good football, you will see some players in general leveled up their games on those. Sterling was playing like prime Hazard, Gallagher has been phenomenal, Palmer has been so very crucial, and so on and so forth. But the games that they switched off, the whole team generally switched off. It's even hard to find on those games who is their best player in that very match.
Guys are bad fighters.
So the first point is to bring an identity and urgency in the team, and giving the armband to someone like James doesn't help that, because however great a player he is, he's literally gone almost half of the time of the season. More than half actually. He is currently playing but nowhere near the James that we used to know. It should go to Thiago Silva whenever that guy is playing. Like everything else, these small parts are just messed up at Chelsea right now. One day we see James as captain, one day Gallagher, one day Colwill.
Oh, for God's sake!
The next thing is, currently Chelsea doesn't know what their best 11 is, and the first step is to stabilize your defense. Look at the amount of goals they are conceding and look at the amount of changes in their defensive lineup. That one particular position almost always requires stability to thrive, because defenders and goalkeeper need to know each other's game really well. Chelsea should figure out ASAP who will be their 2 fixed CBs from Silva, Disasi, Colwill and Badiashile. They should also figure out if they really want to play Colwill in the left back position till Chilwell comes back. Someday playing Cucurella in left back and someday playing Colwill doesn't help. It's even tough for the player to switch roles like this, especially they are not someone who has played top level football for 8-10 years and gathered that experience and sense. So fix your defense watch, that should be your number 1 target right now. Then, this is probably the most no-brainer part of the video, which is they need a proper striker and they need to buy it in January. And again, I really hope it's someone experienced, someone who's PL proven too, and only one name comes to mind now for that who is available. That's Ivan Toney. I really don't want Chelsea to buy Osimhen right now because I don't want any more gamble. Chelsea need quick fixing, and Osimhen is a great player, but again, like everyone in Chelsea right now, he's just talented and has been good for 1 season or a little more. That's also in a different league. Maybe he will be great, but to me, teams like Liverpool, Arsenal, City can afford a new talented player now, not Chelsea.
You couldn't afford it.
Chelsea now needs someone who they are more or less 70-80% sure will score 15 plus goals if provided. Also, currently one of the main issues with this Chelsea team is their play is almost widthless. Yes, Sterling, Mudryk, sometimes James, Palmer do make runs through the wing, but it hardly produces any result. Their play is too central. One of the main reasons for that is not having a poacher and not having someone who is really good aerially. If they sign Ivan Toney, and if he plays like the Toney we saw in previous seasons, I think Chelsea can add way more wing play in their games, because Reece James, Cole Palmer are both very good crossers of the ball. and I think and really hope with time Mudryk will be too. Now, as I'm already talking about headers and scoring from crosses and all that, let me mention here again, as I did in my previous Chelsea video, they need more physicality and tactics in place while defending. How many times in this season we have seen them getting beaten in headers and physicality? And if you are not supremely technical, you cannot survive without physicality in the Premier League. Teams like Newcastle, Brentford, Everton, Crystal Palace and almost everyone and anyone will bully you.
Bullies, big bullies.
So Chelsea needs to figure out how to defend against physical opponents, how to defend set pieces and corners. Next, the most talked about Chelsea issues is scoring against low blocks. They have a really hard time breaking the low blocks defense, and that basically melts down to all the points that we just discussed. They are very one-dimensional, mostly scoring on through balls from the middle or in penalties. They hardly score from the wings, from crosses, from long shots. And this is really one thing that I want to point out. Growing up, we have seen players like Lampard, Joe Cole, Ballack, Mata, Fabregas at Chelsea who all used to score crazy long shots, or at least used to sweat the opponent goalkeepers all the time with the threat of it. Even Oscar Ramirez, Uli and David Luiz were very good at shooting. In this Chelsea team, there doesn't exist a single person who is good at long shots. We saw Enzo scoring some beautiful goals in the World Cup and for Benfica with his long shot, but since he joined Chelsea, his long shot accuracy has been so poor. They need to practice this shit out in their training. In the defensive mid and mid in general, I do think they need a player like Ward-Prowse or Maddison who is experienced, can conduct the game from the mid, launch long balls and throws, and is good at long shots. So they should really look to find someone like that in their January window. Overall, Chelsea needs to play as a team and make goal threats from all possible ways. Long shots, set pieces, center and wings. It has been way too one-dimensional so far, and in that way they can't progress very far. Last of all, I would like to address the goalkeeper or Sanchez issue. Sanchez is a really good shot stopper, I'll give him that, but he's really bad at distribution, and it's your job as a coach to play according to your player's strengths. If you, of course, can upgrade the player at this moment. Playing from the back with someone like Sanchez is impossible. He's super lucky that most of his mistakes didn't end up in the back of his net. He often invites opponent players to come closer and pressurize him, and I understand that. That makes sense if it creates space for your attackers to make the run. But it doesn't help at all if in almost 80% of the cases, you can't distribute the ball to any of your own players. So stop doing that for God's sake. That's it for today guys. If you like this video, please dump a like and subscribe to our channel for more football related content like this. If you think I missed something here, please let us know in the comment. Stay safe, stay healthy. Until next time, ta-da.